I say we're unsurpassed. Overwhelmingly glad we are to be of our country. Foreigners have recommended it highly. Hand in hand for a better land of people who can understand that that's business, brighter out of darkness. Like all other places, we have problems, but when they come, we help to solve them, internally or otherwise, whichever way we think is wise. Oh, sweet spice land, the good-natured Grenadians, overwhelmingly glad we ought to be of our country. Foreigners have recommended it highly. Hand in hand for a better land of people who can understand that that's business, brighter out of darkness. Through the years as we march on for progress, hoping everyone will do his best. It is the only way we can to build the morals of this land, so that we can show we are slow but sure. Overwhelmingly glad we are to be of our country. Foreigners have recommended it highly. Hand in hand for a better land of people who can understand that that's business, brighter out of darkness.
And good morning to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Once again, it is Hard Talk, 25 minutes after the hour of 10 o'clock on the Spice Isle of Grenada. My name is Sheldon Scott.
And I am Devon Romain.
And it is Hard Talk. We're live on 97.5 CitysoundFM.
89.5 CRFM.
92.9 Sister Isle FM out there on the beautiful Sister Isles of Carriacou, Petit Martinique.
And 94.9 We Noise Radio in Brooklyn, New York.
Yes, indeed.
Kunumunu Man.
And of course, it's a beautiful, beautiful Wednesday morning on the Isle of Spice. Pretty warm on the outside. Indeed.
It's been since yesterday. It's been, ooh.
And as today is the 15th, we need to let some people know. Taxes due and payable for the month of May. So all of you with the motor vehicles with plural letters between the numbers 501 and 750, after today, you're illegally on the road if you have not registered. So you need to go register. All right, and vehicle registration numbers with single digits between the numbers 5001 and 7500. Your deadline is also today. Let me go over that again. For those of you motor vehicle license, you need to ensure that you re-register before the close of business today if you have plural letters. So you have like PAG, or you have PEE, or P whatever, right? But anyway, plural letters, right? So you have 3 letters, 2 letters, and you're between the numbers 501 and 750. You need to ensure that you license and register before the end of today. I expect to see a line from people who forget and just hearing that man running out of the office right now to go and register. And those of you with single digits, so like you just have the P, but you're like P5001 up to P7500. You need to go and register before the end. License, you have to go and inspect and thing and get your registration and thing done, get your disc, before the end of the day today. Other than that, you and the police will be having a chat.
You know, most of us always like to wait at the last minute, the last day, to rush and go and pay and create all sorts of inconvenience, not just to yourself, right, but to the officers who are doing the inspection and other persons that, may be involved. So, it's wise that when you know your period is coming up, at least give yourself 2 weeks, 3 weeks to go and make sure you know you get everything done. Don't wait on the last minute. It will just be an inconvenience to you most of all, and then to the persons who are carrying out the inspections. All right, and
So you need to get that registered before the end of the day today. What time did church usually close? 3. I didn't see any
I think
notice.
3.
I'm going to check my email, but I didn't see any notice saying that they're going to extend the time. I know sometimes they do extend the time, but I haven't seen anything saying that the time is extended. When I say the time extended, I mean the hours that they close the treasury today. I haven't seen anything with that today. So it's not like you have extension. If you know you're on the job right now, ask for your permission. You need to go and get your vehicle sorted out because by tomorrow you're late. And if they have a roadblock up tonight and they stop you, well, dog eat your supper.
Your problems.
All right, yeah, you know, the country needs it, yeah? You have to make sure that you're taking proper. All right, for those of you value-added tax and excise tax returns, they are due and payable on Monday, that's the 20th. All right, so they are due and payable on the 20th. So the value-added tax and excise tax returns, they are due and payable. They have to be paid. That is, and your tax returns itself for value-added tax and excise. That's more businessmen. That has to be in by Monday. All right, the 20th. That's the deadline. For businesses as well, corporation income tax returns for the fiscal year ending on February the 28th, 2019. So if your fiscal year as a business ended on the 28th of February this year, your corporation income tax returns, they are due on the 29th. So you have until week after. So I hope that you're sorting out your business right now. Personal income tax and corporation tax installments, they are due and payable, as well as the annual stamp tax installment is due and payable on the 31st of May. I nearly said March there, May. All right. So when the due date falls on a Saturday, Sunday, or public holiday, just for information's sake, when the due date falls on a Saturday, Sunday, or public holiday, the next working day will be the due date for payment. So if today was a holiday or something, then yeah, you would get it next working day. You would get until then. Yeah. But as it is right now, those of you, especially with the motor vehicles, yeah, and knowing the police and them, they will be out. They will be out looking for you all.
They're out already.
I ain't feel tonight. Maybe or maybe not. Don't take the chance, right? Best thing to do, go and get your vehicle inspected and get your disc. Do your thing. Go in the treasury, pay where you have to pay, get your disc. Yeah? Nice. You'll see a line of people running there now. Fellas running out the office right now. A guy reached by his car quite out in parking lot and realized he forget the keys. He had to run back now. Yeah. He's trying to head down there. Quick.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Also, Devon, tomorrow is a big day, man.
Yes.
CPEA.
Tomorrow and Friday.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, we have a press release here from the Ministry of Education, Human Resource Development and Religious Affairs. The final external component of the Caribbean Primary Exit Assessment, CPEA, is scheduled for Thursday 16th and Friday 17th May 2019. 1,949 students are registered for the assessment from 72 schools. These include 1,011 males and 938 females. The boys basically doing it this year. All right, 2,026 students were registered. 1,081 were males and 945 were females. The assessment component commences at 9 a.m. and will be conducted in 52 centers throughout Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. At 12:15 p.m. each day, all students are expected to finish their examinations. CPEA will be open to all students who are 11 years of age before September 1st. So you must be, right, you're 11 years before September 1st to do it. And so, it will consist of 4 multiple choice papers in the following areas: mathematics 50 items, Language arts, 50 items. Science, 50 items. Social studies, 50 items. Each paper will be 75 minutes duration. Will be about 75 minutes duration. Table 1 reflects the schedule for the examination. All right, so you have basically the table 1, the examination schedule for Thursday the 16th May. All right, subject paper mathematics starts at 9 a.m., finishes at 10:15 a.m. You have a break from 10:15 a.m. to 10:45 a.m. Right? It resumes at 11 a.m. with social studies, right, up until 12:15 p.m. On Friday the 17th May, subject papers, language arts starts at 8 p.m., finishes at 10:15 a.m. Break from 10:15 to 10:45 a.m. The science 11 a.m. to 12:15 p.m. Okay? Note, no mobile phones and other electronic devices will be allowed at the examination centers. Electronic calculators are forbidden. Candidates should bring along a 3B or 2B pencil to answer multiple choice questions. Okay? All right, you have some tips there you want me to...
Yeah, go through the tips, man. Yeah, get the tips one time.
And here we have some examination tips. So all those of you who are doing the exams and so, right, before the examination, get to bed early the night before the examination. Remember, your brain and body need sleep to function well. Most important, relax, take your full night's sleep, okay, the night before. Do not skip breakfast on the morning of the examination. Fresh fruits and vegetables are often recommended to reduce stress. Enough mangoes and so in season, bananas, mangoes, and that sort of thing. So the children, get involved. Suck at 2-3 mango before you go. Parents need to encourage their children to provide positive feedback that will help them to relax before the examination. It is important for parents to remain calm and positive even when the children feel anxious, to build students' confidence, right? Even to build student confidence. Get to school or your center early on the morning of the examination. Display a positive attitude, all right? Manage your anxiety by breathing slowly to calm down. All right, so don't be too anxious. Take your time, breathe in, breathe out, relax when you sit down and you're about to start your examination, right? Now, during your examination, read the instructions carefully. Make sure you are shading answers correctly and that the number you are shading corresponds to the question numbers, okay? Manage your time wisely. Very important, right, that you manage your time. Don't start to do something and you figure out you have some difficulties and you stay on that particular problem. No, you continue on, right, finish the rest of it, and then you come back to that particular problem. So in that way, you give yourself enough time, right, to do things that you're not sure, right, about. If you go blank, skip the question and move on. Exactly as I was saying, okay? Do not get worried or frustrated if a problem seems tricky. Reread the question to make sure you understand it. Do not panic. Review your answers thoroughly, okay? So these are some tips that, as students that you pay attention. Students and parents, you home, you might be listening, right? Share some of these tips and encourage your children, right? And so you yourself must not panic. You must not be more anxious than your child. Don't let them see that sort of thing on your face. Give them that confidence, right? Make sure they go to sleep early. Fresh fruits in the morning. Don't let them skip breakfast. Ensure they have a healthy breakfast. And most of all, when they rise in the morning, as always, ensure that they give thanks and praise to the Lord, right, for his guidance and his protection throughout these 2 days. Okay?
Yes, indeed. So, Devon, we'll go over the examination tips again just before we go into our press conference at 11. And, folks, just to let you know, we'll be rebroadcasting a press conference out of Carriacou that took place by the Honorable Kindra Matthew and Stewart. We'll be doing that at exactly 11 a.m. Exactly at 11 a.m. As you can tell, we've changed the format of the program, and we're trying to make sure that you hear as much as possible from all of your MPs and senators and other people with information in relation to different issues. So exactly at 11 a.m., we will be, God's willing, as they say in Islam, inshallah, God's willing, we'll be ensuring that at 11 we play that that one for you. All right? Yes, it's a wonderful one. All right?
It's a press conference that she does every 3 months.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Carriacou and Petit Martinique.
we will be going over that one. And then, folks, just remember, Devon will go over again the schedule of what the children are going to be doing tomorrow. And so, I mean, as a parent, if I get a chance, I think my son is supposed to be writing, I know he's supposed to be writing next year. Although he does take 11 before the 1st of September. But he'll be doing it next year. And you see, during that break time between 10:15 and 10:45, I was passing and gave him a hug.
Yeah.
I'm telling you straight up, as a parent, I was passing by and give him a little hug.
Yeah, and
a little
up.
encouragement and that kind of thing. You know, just to break the anxiety. They done write one already, they might be feeling a little scared and that kind of thing. I don't know if the schools will allow it. Different schools, different rules. Some schools may say yeah, some schools may say no.
Yeah,
but it might be good to give that little kind of encouragement. I like to pass as a parent. You pass and you check on him and you make sure you say, okay, come man, come. Talk to daddy. You okay? Everything good? You ready? Nice. Don't worry, it's just an exam. Relax. Breathe. Okay, son? Breathe, relax. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm planning next year already.
I remember when I went to do that. Wow, that was way back in the 70s. Man.
Parents was good, bad. You see no parents, I think, when I was writing common entrance and them kind of things. So, they give you a little hug and thing and a little good luck and thing before you leave home.
Morning, make sure.
Yeah, but that's... So, folks, just remember the children. So, and just a note, although it isn't said in the press release here, to those of you that live or have businesses in the areas close to the schools, we beg and plead of you to please refrain from noise during the exams.
Very important, yeah.
Refrain from noise during the exams. No weed eater. No sound system clash.
Yeah. No tooting of horns close to schools.
Yeah. Please, we beg of you.
Yeah.
Just the horn you're blowing might just knock the idea right out of a child's head. Please, we beg of you. Those of you that live near to the examination centers, and you know what the examination centers are because they're the primary schools.
Yeah.
So please, avoid noise, excessive noise in those areas because it's Grenada, and the way things are structured for some schools, they're pretty close to homes and businesses and that sort of thing.
Well,
so we beg and plead of you all. 1, no noise, and 2, you ain't supposed to be burning anything anyway, but don't go and be burning nothing and harassing, smoke harassing the students.
Nothing
You
like
might be
that,
affecting this child's future. So please, we beg of you. Don't do them thing tomorrow and Friday.
And in St. Andrews in particular, I know of 2 schools in particular, primary schools, that is right about 2 feet away from the main road, right in the heart of Grenville. Right? So we beg of the drivers, the vehicle owners, pedestrians, and so, keep the noise down, the less tooting of the horns, and so on, So give our children, it's only for 2 days, for a couple of hours. Their future depends on those couple of hours, right? So just be considerate.
Folks, for the next 18 minutes or so, we will be keeping the phone lines open. So in case you want to call, because we realize how we're doing the program these days, you don't get much time to call.
Yes.
But we'll give you the next 18 minutes. If you'd like to call on any specific issue, we'll give you that time within the next 18 minutes between now and 11. As we said, at 11, we are going to be going directly to that press conference directly. We're not going to stop, direct straight into it at 11 on the dot. All right, and we said before that as well, Devon will give you again the schedule and the examination tips. it's important because sometimes as parents, some of you may have joined the program late and you didn't get it. Yeah? And some of you may want to call a friend and say, well, look, tune into Hard Talk now because in a while they'll be telling you things for your children that are going to write the CPEA exam. And it goes for those writing the CXC exams as well, eh?
Yeah.
CXC exams have started, so it goes for them as well.
Yeah.
Devon, also in the news today, the IMF, they have completed their consultation and they are going to be doing their press briefing this afternoon. So the media is invited. We expect to hear from the IMF. They've done their overall assessment. They've met with different groupings and so government and different groupings. And they will be saying what they found in relation to the Grenadian economy. We have a call online.
Good morning and welcome.
Pleasant good morning to you all.
Good morning, Miss Noriega. How are you?
What I may say?
Something
it's
good.
Right. Just there.
Oh, boy.
You hearing me?
Yes,
Yeah,
we
we
hear
are.
you clearly.
Okay. First and foremost, I want to say good morning to you and Devon.
Yes, good morning.
And what coming from the CPA tomorrow, that's excellent. I like how the minister, whoever in charge, put it together for the children. But on a next serious note, if you all will permit me to just send out a sympathy to the Telesford in St. David there, Wester Hall in St. David.
Mm-hmm.
A very good friend of always a listener of Hard Talk, always listening to Hard Talk. Unfortunately, he is gone to the great beyond. So our deepest sympathy to him and his family at this present time. So hope that the family will keep us one. It's very hard to lose a loved one, and sometimes, you know, the aches and the pains it brings with it. But however, God is good and He is able. And to you, Mr. Scott.
Yes, ma'am.
Always listen to, I always say it's better to listen than to always talking, and I get the information. So when certain things come on, I'll be able to explain to folks things that I did not know before. I can really explain. So don't figure it's all you alone have the mouthpiece to talk. I do likewise.
I know that you're listening every day and you know how to get me information from outside sources.
What? I got to fight with you, you know. Because I hear you say something the last day. I say, Robert, well, Sheldon and they know. Well, say what? It's so long there's not anything wrong that I'm doing. So I wonder how you know that.
Don't worry about that.
I wondering. Oh my gosh, I wondering. Nevertheless, not beating up about it. But anyway, that part that you talk about your son, I don't know for sure they will allow you to do that, but that's an excellent idea, you know, if some of the parents, even though they cannot go, but they could whisper a word of prayer for the children, as Devon was stating just now there, so that that could boost their confidence and things like that. I don't have any children or so, at least my two last sons, they are due to be graduating sometime in July. And then I have two granddaughters. That's they have about three years before they could do that exam. So right now, Mrs. Noriega taking them up in reading and spelling. That's as much as I could help them. Not the maths. I help them with timetables at time, but sometimes they helping me too. You understand? So long I left.
We understand how it goes.
Yes, so I tried helping them at times, but they're excited too. And give them a little dictation. Whatever come in my mind, I will just kind of just give them in a little dictation. So my husband is the one that helped me correct it when they do that. Or sometimes the auntie, because the auntie is so busy these days, and the uncles. Yes, and one more thing that my husband's birthday will be advanced birthday greetings to him, Robert Noriega, the 20th of May this month, and our anniversary is the 24th, 35 years. So
That's
I hope
wonderful.
you all remember.
All right, my dear. I'm going to
Take-
make a special note of that one.
Yes, thanks.
So you enjoy the rest of your day
Yes,
today.
thanks, and all the best to you all. And give the boys, Mr. Devon,
Yes.
Isaiah,
Yes, I will.
and Mr. Scott, the 2 boys,
3.
3 boys. Give them. I want you to give the little one in his hand for me.
Okay.
Just hold his little hand and just give it a kiss for me.
He's very close by. So I'll do that as soon as I'm done.
Yes, you take care. All the best. God bless
right.
you.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Take
yes,
care.
Bye.
Yes,
Yes.
indeed. I think we have another caller on the line.
Good morning and welcome.
Hey, good morning, Sheldon. Good morning, Devon.
Good morning, my friend.
Yeah, I want to give us some information there. This evening at 5 o'clock, there will be a meeting at the turning of the sale of the construction of the Chinese housing project at Busheju. People are asked to be seated at 4:45 p.m. Alright, so they are turning of the sale of the construction of the Chinese housing project at Busheju. So we ask people to be seated there at 4:45 p.m. So Brother Devon and Sheldon, a lot of things are going on. This government is a government that care and they love people. And they want to make sure that people have a proper housing place where they could take a proper rest. And this government, they continue to do and demonstrate the care and the love for the people growing in Carriacou and Peter Martinique. So asking the people of St. John Northwest to go to this meeting at the site of the Chinese housing project at Busheju to hear from the parliamentary rep and other ministers. So God bless you all, Devon and Sheldon. I want to say one thing with Sheldon and Devon. I wish all students that will be sitting in the CPA great success. And I speak success and excellent spirit over every student that will be sitting the exam from our police God. So everyone, may God bless them, and everyone be in perfect health to do that exam from our police God on Friday. God bless you all.
Thank you, my friend.
All right, thank you. Yeah, so that's the sod turning ceremony for the Chinese houses in the Busheju area. So that's for 5 p.m. this afternoon. And so we expect the parliamentary representative, the Honorable Prime Minister. He will be there along with other members of cabinet, and so they'll be there to give you some information. I never know. Sometimes at these small meetings, you just get some important information, and so it's nothing you should really miss.
Nope.
Yeah, sometimes you get some important announcements and information, and so.
But Sheldon, these and some of these things go unnoticed sometimes. But we have seen over the last 5 or so years, 5, 6 years, one of the priority of this government is to ensure that the citizens of this country, right, is afforded better, proper housing, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is one of the hallmark, and we must be proud of that. Proud of a government who has stand up and ensure that the living standard of our people, right, raises, to a certain standard. Gone are the days that you have, houses without electricity. Gone are the days where you find houses, without bathroom and toilet attached to it on the outside. And so this government has been moving in a direction to ensure every citizen of this country is comfortable when it comes to housing. New housing projects around the Tri-Island state, right? From the north in Carriacou and so to the south. And that's excellent.
And we will be hearing some of what is taking place, as you mentioned, Carriacou. We will be hearing some of what is taking place in Carriacou in a short while. And we say a special good morning to the men and women of the Royal Grenada Police Force, whichever branch of the Royal Grenada Police Force you're in. Also to the men and women of the Customs Department. And those of you on the airport security, prison service, we say a special good morning to the prison service as well. Police Week activities are coming up. And today, there's actually an activity scheduled for today. They have the police debating competition. That's going to be at the Victoria Magistrates Court from 7 p.m. James Club versus Her Majesty's Prison. The topic is, be it resolved that human activity is a substantial cause of global climate change. Yeah, so that'll be taking place this afternoon. We have a caller.
Good morning and welcome.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Scott.
Good morning, my dear. How are you?
Mr. Romain, you hearing me?
Yes, good
Very
morning,
clear.
Camille.
Good morning.
Very, very clear.
How you all doing?
We good?
Oh, yeah. I just want to call about my village talk about the turning of the soil this afternoon, 5 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, a lot of things happening by village. You know? You're on.
Hey, Camille.
And Scotty, a
Yes,
lot
ma'am.
of things, happening up there. This morning when I look out of the window and I see the Chinese people going up with a big sign on the truck, and so much of young men in my village too going up. They had a little job. I feel good, Despite what the people have to say, things is happening. Things is happening. Give the people what due to them. This is our duty. Things is happening, Devon and Sheldon in Boucherville. And they're going to be building this preschool around my village too. This morning again, there is some women and men, young men, that is cleaning the big drain. They're doing a wonderful job. And I want to appeal to the people in the neighborhood. Please, let's try and keep it clean. Let's try and keep that village clean. With the work they're doing. And people going to get houses to live. Nice houses. They're going to be single house. They will live in an apartment. And he still have some bad-minded people that say nothing is happening. Right on top, there's a highway now. I remember Sheldon and Devon. One little bus that used to come in that little old road there, Tiger. It's a Tiki Tiger or a bus now. Because them buses number 5, they're flying in there. We have a highway. We are roundabout in that nice road now. And no more houses for people, So, a thumbs up. Let's keep praying for the people that is building, and the people are going to get a nice, decent home. People want place to stay. And it still have the negative one that said nothing is happening in Grenada. People in America, England, Canada, all over the world, Grenadians. When you come back to look at Boucherville, it's not the Boucherville I didn't know. You understand? Yesterday I picked a big pineapple. And you have good soil of it. Good soil. Anyhow,
Don't boast about the
it's a
pineapple.
start.
I go pass.
Let me tell you something about the doctor in the hospital. And I will not call his name. I'm going to get his right name and I'm going to go to the Minister of Health for him. For telling the patient that to tell sick people to buy medication. And he come all the way from Africa. So you have to stop this kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm going to go to Mr. Steele. Let Mr. Steele call him and speak to him. You have to be careful what you say. He's a doctor and he could have medication. Sheldon Scott, let me tell you something. He have blackboard all over Grenada in all the departments. Yeah, and I not know what I'm telling you about that man. He not know, but when I tell you something, it's the truth. Yeah, I could call him if he go on, but I will not do it. I'm going to let Mr. Steele call him and speak to him. Or the administration people up there. You can't tell any patient, tell the patient to buy medication. They don't buy medication for the hospital. So yeah, they don't. It's not everything you will get. You have time. It's not everything. You have time, you can't get everything. Right? A doctor came from America and he gave me some medication, but he didn't have it in Grenada. I was sent for it in England. So he must behave himself. He joined in with his people and them to come and say things. Yeah? I know what I'm saying, Mr. Scott. I know what I'm saying. I don't give you no second hand thing. I'm telling you, I could call in them big and bold. Let the people know who I'm talking about it. But I'm going to go to the minister and to the people in charge of the hospital to speak to him. Okay? Have a good day.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Kami.
I see a partner of mine was not listening because he just telling me talk about the debate in Victoria later.
Oh.
And we just talk about the police debate.
He was not listening.
Yeah, we partner just joined us, man. He late today.
Yeah, he late
today. But folks, remember, for those of you on the West Coast, for those of you in Victoria and St. John, even St. Patrick, remember, the Royal Grenada Police Force. Police Week is coming up, so they have that debate. It's taking place at the Victoria Magistrates Court from 7 p.m. this evening. Yeah, you're late, man.
And I want to say good morning to all the private security personnel around the country. Continue to do an excellent job wherever.
Real protection?
Yes, real protection.
Yeah, real protection.
Service.
They're providing real protection.
You understand? And
all right.
They continue to do a good job. Good morning to you guys.
We've got 2 minutes before the hour of 11 o'clock. As we said, we are starting at exactly 11 with the quarterly address by the Honorable Minister, the Honorable Kindra Mathurin Stewart, out in Carriacou. So we're going to be starting that at exactly 11. So what we will do is at the end of it, we'll go over the information for the children. Yeah, that'll give you enough time to contact who you want to contact and let them know that we're going to go over that information of the do's, what you should suggest that your children, how you prepare them for tomorrow. Make sure they get enough sleep tonight. Make sure they have the proper pencils. So you need to know that now so that you could get it before the place closes in the morning. You don't want to be rushing in town to go and try to buy a 2B and 3B pencil in the morning. Exam tomorrow morning and you're rushing to go and try and get these things. Get them today, out of the way.
As parents, you don't give the children that extra hassle. You do it yourself. You know what they need for tomorrow, please the Lord. You go out and get a couple of number 3 and number 2B pencils and so they have it. When they get up in the morning, they breakfast. They say their prayers, their breakfast. Make sure they have a fruit or two and relax and prepare themselves for examination.
Yeah, and we tell the technical man to stand by because we are under 1 minute away from going into the quarterly address. And folks, we want you to listen clearly and carefully because you'll hear exactly what is taking place on the Sister Isles of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. So we go live right now with a repeat of the quarterly press conference yesterday. The Honorable Kindra Mathurin Stewart.
Good afternoon to, of course, my permanent secretary in the Ministry of Carriacou and Petit Martinique Affairs, to you, the members of the media, those of you listening on Sister Isles Radio and on WeiVybz 101.3 and, of course, on social media. The pleasure is mine to take this awesome opportunity to inform and to advise the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique of recent developments and updates happening within the Ministry of Carriacou and Petit Martinique Affairs and local government and within the constituency of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. Over the past few months, we saw the successful execution of various national cultural festivals on our shores. Most recently, our Carnival and Maroon Festival. The Ministry of Carriacou and Petit Martinique Affairs invested over $120,000 in cash in our carnival this year, an increase of $20,000, and $50,000 in our just concluded Maroon and String Band Music Festival. We had a record number of visitors to our shores during this period, along with the attendant increases in economic activities taking place on our shores. I want to take this opportunity to thank the various festival committees and their members, as well as the directors of the festival's board, for the planning and execution of these festivals, and for taking pride in the quality of the production of the various activities. Special thanks must also be given to the various corporate and individual sponsors, the participants, patrons, supporters, and of course you, the general public, for your general support during these festivals. For the 10th year, the Carriacou Masters Cricket Tournament was staged on the same weekend as the Maroon Festival, making that weekend one of the most exciting weekends on the island. This year, over 12 teams participated, with many more expressing interest to visit. I gave the renewed commitment at the welcoming ceremony of the teams that government and this ministry will explore all avenues in securing an additional cricket ground in order to facilitate the extra teams willing to participate. I also advised and informed that we have begun the process of lighting the Hillsborough playing field so that night games and other activities can be facilitated as well. Mr. George Andrew and his team must be congratulated for this wonderful initiative and for continuously investing in this activity. The Carriacou Masters Tournament is now a permanent fixture on the sporting calendar for Carriacou and Petite Martinique. Up next, as we all know, is the Petite Martinique Whitsuntide Regatta Festival, which is to be staged from the 7th of June to the 10th of June. Currently, the festival's board and the committee is working closely to deliver yet another quality product that truly depicts the people of Petite Martinique. I am happy to announce now that this year, the Ministry of Carriacou and Petite Martinique Affairs have increased the financial support to the Petite Martinique Whitsuntide Festival Committee from $25,000 to $50,000 in cash this year. Additionally, plans are also being put in place for the staging and execution of the 2019 Regatta Festival. The ministry and the government are in full support and stands firmly with the festival's board, who is entrusted with the mandate to spearhead, plan, and execute all national and public festivals. Recently, we saw right here in Carriacou the finals of the Right Start GCA Inter-Parish Under-19 Cricket Tournament concluded in Carriacou in a match between our Under-19 team and Team St. David's. We are indeed, as a ministry and a government, very proud of our team from Carriacou, who gave us the opportunity to host the match here on homeland. I commend the captain, manager, coach, and players of our team for representing us in the tournament and for us, of course, reaching the finals. We are immensely proud and look forward to greater and bigger things from our team. In the same breath, I congratulate Team St. David's for winning the championship away from home. I also congratulate our athlete, Ms. Jamora Alves, who participated in the Carriacou Games held in the Cayman Islands last month, and for returning home with the bronze medal in the Under-17 female shot put event. Keeping with our young people, just recently, over 15 young men from Carriacou and Petite Martinique attended and participated in the SCTW training, which is a safety training at sea in Trinidad and Tobago. And very soon, they will be presented with their certificates, evidencing successful completion of that training. Further, over 35 Imani trainees were recently placed in various workplaces and training environments to receive necessary training and experience in various fields and disciplines. Additionally, the Imani trainees that we had continue to secure permanent placement in various workplaces and areas throughout the length and breadth of Carriacou and Petite Martinique. The Empower program is also on stream and is going pretty well. This is a program that is designed to help young males who have gotten in trouble with the law or would most likely would get in trouble with the law. Of course, to give them that opportunity to turn their lives around, to enable them to live productive and meaningful lives. Over 30 young men are engaged in this program. Things like basic mathematics and language skills are being taught to these young men along with life skills. These young men are now placed in various workplaces so that a skill can be learned. For the year thus far, over 8 young persons from Carriacou and Petite Martinique would have received full scholarships in various institutions in and out of Grenada. Further, through the Parliamentary Office, we continue to assist needy students at TAMCC, NULO, and other educational institutions. The training and development of our young people continue to be a #1 priority for us as a government. And just over in Petite Martinique, over 15 young persons, which includes both males and females, were recently trained in furniture making. We as a government and as a ministry and as your minister continue to place great emphasis and importance, of course, on our infrastructural development as well. Completed this year so far, as you may be aware, is the airport solution drain, which will take water from the airport stadium area into the sea. The Hillsborough solution drain from Morris Street connecting First Avenue onto Main Street. And to complement this work, the Hillsborough Pond was thoroughly cleaned and cleared. Further, we saw the completion of the resurfacing of the Mont Royal Main Road, which was completed and which was done with asphalt, along with the Dover Top Road. Various bridges, drains, and retaining walls were constructed throughout Carriacou and Petite Martinique thus far, with the hope to complete many more before the end of the year. Presently under construction is 1,200 feet long by 3 wide slipper drain, 1 cross culvert, 4 sidewalks, and 3 driveways in the Harveyville area, which we believe would assist in the prevention of flooding in the surrounding areas during heavy rains. Work is expected to begin as soon as next week on various pieces of roads and drain throughout Carriacou, and permit me to advise you of same. They are as follows. At Hermitage, 300 feet concrete slab road and 300 feet block wall will be constructed. At the Mount Pleasant Point Road, another 300 feet concrete slab road and box drain, including 1 cross culvert, will be constructed. In Mount Desire, 400 feet of concrete slab road and slipper drain will also be constructed. On the Harveyville Main Road, a cedar fence with Gibeon baskets will also be constructed to prevent a further sea erosion of the said road. Work is also expected to commence on the Carriacou Police Station, which is set to receive a major facelift, major renovations in the tune of over $500,000. This work will commence next week as well. And over in Petite Martinique, 100 feet of block wall and 80 feet retaining wall will be constructed in the Paradise area, along with 400 feet of concrete slab road also in that area. Further, the police station in Petite Martinique was recently relocated to the new NADMA building and is now better positioned to serve the people of Petite Martinique. Arrangements are currently underway to establish a tourism welcome center on the island of Petite Martinique. We continue at the ministry to grade and compact many of our inner roads with gravel for easy access in many areas. This we will continue to do until a permanent solution is arrived at. In total, over $1 million will be spent on this project, and it is expected that hundreds of jobs will be created for our people as a direct result. We are quite aware that there are many other roads that need urgent attention. But the fact is that we can only do so much at one time, given our limited resources. In this regard, I crave your continued patience and understanding as we work towards improving our roads and drains and other infrastructure one day at a time. With respect to the Bogles Main Road, the Bredner Road, the Cherry Hill Road, the Bel Air Main Road, and that of roads in Bottom and Top Lauriston, I continue to push for additional support to get these started. There was, in fact, a further delay with the start of work on Bishop's College. But I believe that we are now closer than ever closer than we ever were to see the start of construction of same. I know that all architectural drawings and designs are now finalized and things are moving ahead. The Chinese housing project in Dumfries is on stream and is progressing with great satisfaction. The first phase is nearing completion and is expected to be delivered by the first half of next year. Many persons have already expressed keen interest in these houses, and so I am quite aware that this project would really touch the lives of many of our people. The bathroom and toilet initiative of our elderly citizens have started sometime last year, is ongoing, and for the year thus far, we have constructed and outfitted over 4 bathroom facilities. This is another initiative that continues to touch the lives of our elderly people in this constituency in profound ways. I am excited to report that the government of Grenada, in partnership with the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, have agreed under the CARSI project to bridge the digital divide for our small islands, and Grenada is ready to begin the process of laying out undersea cable system, which will be laid from Conference Bay, Grenada, into Carriacou and up to the islands into St. Vincent during this said week. The current technology used for internet access in Carriacou and Petite Martinique as a result will be upgraded to high-speed broadband network, which will provide affordable connectivity to our islands. The fiber cable will increase access, and this will bring equity of access to broadband for the people of Carriacou and Petite Martinique and the Grenadine Islands. Today, as you know, the access to internet and telecommunication services is not only more expensive here in Carriacou and Petite Martinique, but it is also of a lower quality to that of Grenada. This fiber cable will change this and will act as the foundational access towards digital transformation for our island. So, high-speed internet access is coming to Carriacou. By virtue of this investment, primary and secondary schools on the island, together with TAMCC, will be given high-speed internet connectivity. Teleconferencing, live streaming, online activities, and businesses can now operate from Carriacou and Petite Martinique with the same or even better bandwidth, offering as compared to any country in the world. The fiber will be installed in all government offices at the first instance, and the opportunity will be given to other entities to this high-quality broadband service from partnership agreement with Digicel. We in Carriacou have started making preparation for the fiber cable at the Lauriston Airport stretch area. A special vessel is now presently docked at the St. George's Port, which vessel will lay the marine fiber in open waters during this week. As it relates to the health sector, we continue to make incremental and proud progress. We received funding from PAU and UK Aid to undertake the Smart Hospital Healthcare Project at the Princess Royal Hospital and at the Hillsborough Health Center. For both facilities, repairs will be made to electrical and plumbing to introduce measures that will conserve energy and water. We will also see the installation of water tanks, repairs to the roofs, building of disabled ramps, and installation of hurricane shutters, among many other things. Currently, the design and detailed scope of works have been completed. Design for both facilities were completed by a local design firm, Construction Advisory Services. Tender documents are being finalized for publication, and a team from PAHU will be in Carriacou on May 21st to conduct an assessment as part of the tendering process. Work on the facilities will be done concurrently and is anticipated to commence in June, July of this year. The project is expected to cost in the tune of US $1 million. Operations at the Hillsborough Health Center will be relocated to the nurses' hostel at Bel Air, and work will be done on the hospital in a manner that will minimize the interruption of service to patients and other persons there. As you are aware, we will be approaching the hurricane season very soon. The season is scheduled to begin on the 1st of June. And it is forecasted that we will have a slightly less active season. We are in store for a projected 14 named storms, including 7 hurricanes, of which 3 are expected to be major hurricanes. NADMA Carriacou is in preparatory mode. Community outreach programs were executed. Awareness village meetings were held and is ongoing. Various drills and exercises and training sessions were also conducted and is ongoing. These and more will continue as we brace ourselves for this season. In the area of agriculture, we continue to make great progress. This year alone, over $50,000 were already spent to repair and upgrade some of the existing farm structures at the Limley farm. The fencing of the perimeter of the farm, over 12 acres, recently fenced, and the division is in the process of land preparation, not only on the farm but individuals as well. The plowing of lands have begun. I am happy to report that the impounding system, which is also operated out of the farm, is in full effect and is operating smoothly. At the nursery site in Dover, we are looking to rehabilitate same to be used as a demonstration site for the schools. The area would be used for both forestry and 4-H. This nursery should be up and running during the latter quarter of the year. The nursery in Bel Air comes in for high praise and commendation for the work that is presently being done there. A vast variety of seedlings and other crops, other plants, can be found there for planting when the rain starts. Recently, Mr. Edwin Duncan and Evan Samuel of the Agriculture Division visited the Belmont Estate in Grenada, in particular the goat dairy operations there, in order to get a snapshot of the goat dairy processing, something we indicated a while ago we intend to replicate on the farm in Limley. With respect to Crown lands and the allocation thereof, we continue to work on the areas that were distributed to our people. Last month, the surveyor would have visited Carriacou, in particular the Lauriston land settlement area, and would have erected or placed various boundary marks in respect of the different lots of land that were allocated there. Also, the lands were cleared and access roads were created. As a result of this intervention, persons allotted lands in that area are now aware as to the exact location of their respective lots. As it relates to the increased payment under the seed program, I am pleased to announce today that at the end of June this year, persons eligible will receive the increase of $100 by way of public assistance, bringing it to $300 per month. This increase will only be in respect of the elderly. That is, persons over 60 years. And of course, for those who are eligible. I wish to repeat. The increase will only be in respect of the elderly, persons over 60 years, and those who are eligible. As your parliamentary representative and minister, I vow to continue to fight and to bring as much benefits as possible to all the people of our beautiful islands. My mission has been and remains to positively impact and change lives of all in whatever way possible. And despite the many attempts to distract the process and the progress by idle persons, I remain truly committed and dedicated to the cause. I wish to take this opportunity to thank all of you, all the people of Carriacou and Petite Martinique, for your genuine support, your guidance and counsel, as we continue to work one day at a time in building our beautiful islands, Carriacou and Petite Martinique. I thank you. So I will entertain, of course, a few questions from members of the public, of the media.
Minister, you spoke about the Dr. Prince House project by China. I spent a while in China. I know the Chinese construct buildings and units towards their own specification, and of course, in contrast to the style of Africa. Can you assure us, first of all, how many units are there in this first phase, and the size of the units comfortably enough?
Sure. In the first phase, over 100 units will be constructed. The size of the units are pretty comfortable. I've had the opportunity to visit together with other persons from the Ministry of Works in Grenada, who is also spearheading and working along with the Chinese to ensure that they keep within the specifications. And so I am comfortable with the size of the units, and I know that most people would be. Just to advise further that the first phase is going pretty smoothly. We expect it to complete by the middle of next year, and by the end of this year, we'll be start taking in applications for those units.
So will be, would I be not the fast track if I have it myself, but if that, of course, the same team will remain to start phase 2, or phase 2 will run something?
The same team will remain to start phase 2.
So possibility that phase 2 will start next year?
Could be. Fingers crossed.
Next question. I spoke to one for Gaga, with the founding managing director.
Yes.
And he said that successive governments have been stalling the process in terms of getting government to ease the taxes that they have.
Yes.
To the extent he said that Rajina's career, that what they are paying over the 9-seater,
Yes.
it's impossible for them to run the 19-seater.
Yes.
And a matter of fact, he said, even when the travel field from Greater Carriacou and vice versa, we were at a loss. He said the Carriacou SDGA, the separation from Carriacou to Greater, the every time, it's been sustained and subsidized by the wealthy people who runs up to the mother grannies and mother parts of the town. What could be done from your angle as a minister and of course from your administration to ensure that of course we keep SDGA or keep airline running in light of the fact they are so important to us all and of course to our tourism? Is there anything with us?
It is interesting because it was only yesterday that I met with Mr. Gavel and the manager, Mr. Lendo, at my office at Legal Affairs, and we discussed these issues. Now, there are two things that are on the table. The request for a waiver of taxes for persons traveling between Union Island, from Grenada to Union Island, and secondly, the issue of subsidies to ensure that the 19-seater, if they decide to use it here, would be a viable options. Those options we will be discussing with the government, the entire government, and it's something that I intend to raise and to bring in cabinet for deliberations and for the way forward. But I have given the persons at SVGA my commitment to working with them to ensure that we have this viable service available for the people of Carriacou and Petite Martinique. It would be a travesty of justice to have not one company fly between Carriacou and Grenada. And so as a government, we will do whatever it takes, or whatever we have to do, of course, within certain guidelines and within certain parameters, to ensure that there is connectivity, constant connectivity between Carriacou and Grenada. So it was only yesterday afternoon that we've had that discussion, and I'm yet to bring same to initiate a conversation with our Prime Minister and, of course, the rest of the Cabinet. But rest assured, it is something that is high on the agenda, and I will raise very soon. Yes. Yeah, he also indicated that to me, so I have that in the back of my mind. And, of course, we'll be working to ensure that that does not happen.
Minister, you also made reference to the hurricane season.
Yes. Yes.
And we know what can happen. Last year we saw instant flooding in the morning.
Yes.
Sometime in October last year. And the rain that we received on that particular day was more than what the island received from January to September. In light of that, a number of farmers were affected, in terms of the soil water and so forth. The contrast to this question. So we know that, of course, the waters, in terms of flooding, can affect farmers in terms of the crops. Likewise, we know, of course, serious droughts, like what we experienced a couple of years ago, can also affect the farmers. In light of that, what are the safety nets in place to cushion the fall for farmers should they be affected by either one of the two?
Okay. Very well. As you're aware, government last year and early this year have invested and continue to invest heavily in drains. Last year, various storm drains and solution drains were constructed throughout Carriacou and Petite Martinique. And we focused primarily on drains because we were aware what usually happens in the rainy season when we have, of course, heavy downpours. And so we believe that if we take care of our drains, if we divert the water in the right direction, then in the first breath, the severity of flooding will be diminished. Also, secondly, under the Ministry of Carriacou and Petite Martinique Affairs, and of course the Ministry of Agriculture, there are programs whereby affected farmers, of course registered farmers, can tap into for assistance once their crops, their livestock, damaged as a result of hurricanes, flood, or any form of natural disasters. Some farmers have tapped into same in the past, and so we urge all farmers to become registered and to make themselves available with the respective information as to what can be attained at that given time. Sure. Yes. Yes.
Year after year, crop farmers, and people generally who plant crops, always suffer from feathered animals ravaging their crops. We know we have the farming system.
Yes, yes.
But for some reason, the teeth is not biting.
Yes.
From your position where it's in legal affairs department, is there anything that can be done to strengthen it and to better secure crop farmers?
Yes, we have already started to look into that. The impounding system has started, and as I indicated, it has been running pretty smoothly. Of course, there's always room for improvement. And as you're correct to say that it is not biting, or it probably is not biting hard enough. And so the Attorney General Chambers, we are looking at the respective legislation to see how we can tighten it, to see how we can bite a little harder to bring relief to the persons who are affected by the during the let-go season, as I call it. You know, around this, especially a season like now, dry season, where we tend to just let loose all the animals. And of course, we know what is the attendant result of that. I'm cognizant of that. And while we have legislation in place, as you know, legislation is never stagnant. The laws have to evolve, laws have to change to fit certain circumstances. And so we are looking to see how we can tighten those pieces of legislation, which we hope we'll be able to table in Parliament very soon.
You made a point about, of course, a number of roads that you
Yes.
addressing. And of course, you mentioned the Grenada road.
Yes.
It's very important.
Very.
The central and
Yes.
southern part of the island.
Yes.
Also, what the institution of hospital.
Yes.
I just drove down there about half an hour ago,
Yes.
and the road is in a mess.
It is.
It's badly deteriorated.
Yes.
In light of the fact, but I don't know what the point is of the road. The point is more that corridor.
Yes.
It's so narrow. I hope that, of course, in the plans going forward, and works going forward very soon, we're not going to only just maybe taper off over the cracks, but of course, they need, of course, to widen that road. So I hope that will be taken into consideration.
I believe that will be taken into consideration. We will have the experts coming and assess it and advise us as to what we can do best with respect to saving that road. But it is a road that is high on our agenda because of its importance, significant importance, the link between Hillsborough to the hospital. Thank you.
In your main address, you made up, you spoke about culture.
Yes.
And what culture means to people
Yes.
in the matter. We all, of course, run through our veins.
Yes.
I know you're very passionate about a cultural center for Carriacou and Petit
Yes.
Market. Last year, you met with the Chinese ambassador.
Yes.
Looked at a venue. Where are we as it pertains to that project?
Well, we are nowhere yet. To be honest, we are not quite there yet. As you know, these types of projects usually take a little time before it gets off the ground. And so we are still in dialogue with the sponsors, with the funders. And once that is secured, then we'll be able to move it on a little further. But it remains one of my dream projects. It remains something that I would really like to see happen here in Carriacou and Petit Martinique. And of course, I would use my energies and whatever it takes to see how far we can get with respect to that project.
I know your predecessor spoke very highly about the importance of restoring and maintaining that aesthetic, architectural piece of artwork that we have in Bel Air, known as the Great House, where we normally have the Maroon Festival. Yes. What has been done to ensure that, of course, we try to restore that facilities to its natural and pristine state?
That I to maintain that structure should be maintained at all cost. As a matter of fact, it was last month or so we had a consultant from Trinidad in the name of Dr. Poon, who would have visited Carriacou, and we looked at that and other sites in terms of preserving and ensuring that these monumental buildings does not disappear. Dr. Poon agreed to provide us with a proposal as it relates to its preservation that we are awaiting. But again, I just want to advise and inform that this is something we are looking at. And once the proposals are had, we will see how we can execute. But rest assured that the preservation of our cultural heritage, our artifacts, the things that we met here, we as a government, as a ministry, will do all that we can to ensure that our children and grandchildren get a taste of it as well.
Final question. Sorry to take up so much of your time.
No, that's all right.
The Dumfries landfill, you would agree that, of course, it's not working exactly for the purpose in which it was first started and, of course, constructed.
Yes.
What is the best way forward for this particular facility?
Well, the best way forward. Raul, you know, late last year, a team from Solid Waste visited Carriacou. Myself and the permanent secretary was also present. And we together came up with a working plan. That plan was since approved by Cabinet, and funding was allocated to execute that plan and proposal. As of today's date, I can say that work has started on the Dumfries landfill in the sense that the wider perimeter of the landfill was cleared. We are now in the process of constructing the main road, the road in the front of the landfill, because we realize that especially in the rainy season when the rain falls and that road gets really messed, persons do not drive into the landfill to dump. They do it right in the road. So we have decided, well, Solid Waste have decided to assist in the construction of that road leading to the landfill, and various other proposals were also tabled. I believe that following that we would see a fencing of the landfill together with designating tipping area. So for instance, different types of waste will be tipped at different location. And of course, we'll be having a constant covering of the waste as they are so deposited there. Also, a certain berm will be constructed and will be enclosed around the landfill to ensure that much debris does not go into the sea, the Dumfries Sea. So all of these was approved by Cabinet, and we have started the rollout with respect to the Dumfries area.
You mentioned, of course, trying to grow the masters competition, which I think is excellent and it's good for our economy.
Yes.
And of course for the exposure of beautiful Carriacou, Petermatic, and the country as a whole. You spoke about, of course, having a fourth ground. Any considerations as to exactly where we're looking at?
Well, we're looking at Mount Pleasant. We're also looking at possible Bogles, and there are some other areas that is that the senior coach is presently trying to identify. But we're on the hunt. We are searching.
The final ball now. Petermatic.
Yes.
We have a playing field in Petermatic. We all know.
Yes.
But you would agree with me that it's basically inadequate to host a football game, a cricket match of that nature.
Yes.
It's so small. Would I be right in saying that the window is still open, despite the fact that government doesn't have any crownlands in Petermatic? Would I be right in saying, overcooking my suggestion, that we still have the window open to look for an alternative venue on the side of Petermatic?
Of course. The windows are never shut, and we will never shut the window on any idea of that nature with respect to Petermatic. But Ron, let me tell you that, yes, it is small, but recently we have done some work there to upgrade it and to make it fit for the purpose for which it was built, for which it was constructed. And so while it is small in size, but it continues to serve a valuable purpose for the people of Petermatic, whom I know appreciates it very much. So it's never a wise idea to shut the window on anything, and we won't shut the window on this one as well. Thank you for your questions. Okay. With respect to the building in his borough, I have recently made a plea for same to come under the leadership of the Ministry of Carriacou and Petermatic Affairs. We are hoping to use that space to accommodate some of our staff at the main administrative building in his borough. So essentially, we are interested in using that building for office space for use by the Ministry of Carriacou and Petermatic.
So what will be happening to the jetty?
Well, the last time both the PS and myself met with the general manager for the Grenada Ports Authority, we were advised that the Hillsborough jetty will be demolished. Because as you are aware, that same is now unfit. The structure is unsound for use, and so that jetty will be demolished. However, before same is demolished, I am advised and informed that a small jetty will be constructed nearer to the fish market in Hillsborough for persons, seamen, fishers will be able to have access to the fish market to get their eyes, bring in the fish, and for, of course, persons from Petermatic to utilize in order for them to have access to Hillsborough.
Okay. Miss, you said work on Bishop's College is delayed. How soon we might see actual work starting on the building?
I really do not want to give you a month or a date, because we have done so in the past, and as of today's date, it has not yet started. And so what I can say is that we are closer to seeing start of this work. I spoken with the Minister of Education just yesterday regarding Bishop's College, and she advised that everything is in order, and of course we should set to roll out very soon. But again, I do not wish to commit a date or time for you to hold me accountable.
One more question. With the port being moved, what sort of plans you all have in place to kind of stimulate some economic activities in Hillsborough?
Well, to me, I'm not sure whether or not economic activity in the Hillsborough area have significantly dwindled as a result of the movement of the port. I hope that's what you're asking. However, we continue to work closely with the businesses in town. We believe that with added investments, with added attraction, that more life, more economic activity will be brought to Hillsborough. So all in all, the Hillsborough will remain the tongue. I remember that there was some time when, in Grenada, for instance, when there were a movement away from St. George's into Grand Anse, and people were concerned about, well, Grand Anse will be the new tongue, and all the banks and everything is going down to Grand Anse. And that didn't happen. St. George's remained St. George's, and Grand Anse is now Grand Anse, two viable economic spaces. So I can't see why the same thing cannot happen in Carriacou, and I know it will happen because it is happening. Harveyvale, as you know, it's a tourist belt. Is an area where persons visit by a yacht, of course now with the boat. It is an area that is picking up economically. We've had the addition of the supermarket and other business ventures in that particular area. As a matter of fact, go there on a Friday or a Saturday night, and the heartbeat basically of the nightlife is now in Harveyvale. That does not take away from what is happening in Hillsborough. Hillsborough too have its own vibes and it have its own life. And so it's a matter of complementing each other. I have no doubt. I'm not scared. I'm not bothered. Hillsborough tongue will remain a viable economic tongue for the people of Carriacou and Petite Martinique.
We are in the dry season and they're kind of predicting that it will be an extended one. What's in place for persons like, say, farmers in terms of water shortage?
Well, the plant is up and running, of course, at a cost. Persons have to purchase the water. It's not exorbitant. The cost is quite amenable. Also, through the ministry, we would start the water distribution process, where we'll be going to the different villages, throughout Carriacou and Petite Martinique, to distribute water on specific days and times. Those dates and time will be announced publicly, so that persons in a particular area will be aware and be able to have access to that water. But we continue to monitor the dry season. At one point in time in the year, we thought that it would not have been as prolonged, but now we're in the middle of May almost, and we believe now that it's going to be a tough one. So we are putting systems in place to ensure that not just farmers, but other persons have access to this vital resource. Thank you. Sweating.
Right. Well, let me just look at the youth side of it first. Yes. Any plans or further plans for youth development? I know you spoke about the Imani program and also the Empower program. Yes. For the people who are not currently engaged or attached, how soon can we see some more people coming on? I hope I'm not putting you on a spot.
No, you're not. The fact is, we are not sure yet. As you know, this Imani program, it's something that is operated throughout the state, not just Carriacou. So it has to be a holistic plan, to put on an additional group. Although, Mr. Lendo, you may know that we are in need of an additional 2 groups to keep up and to be in line with what is happening in Grenada. But of course, that program continues to serve its purpose, but I don't believe that is a program that we should depend on to solve all of our problems as it relates to gainfully employing our youthful population. And as a country, as a government, as a ministry and as a division, we have to look at creative ways in which we can find creative ways, as I said, to ensure that our youth are more employable, to ensure that we bring real youth development to our people. And I think that we are heading in the right direction, and we should not only depend on the, let's say, the Imani program or the Empower program to do so. Thanks.
The lighting of the Hillsborough playing field. Now, can you elaborate a little bit more? And I'll tell you why, because at the moment we have the softball cricket that is on. And interestingly, just this morning, one of the representatives from the Royal Grenada Police Force, they're asking if we can do more.
Yes.
And, you know, just even putting it a little bit later than the regular 4:30 and 5 o'clock.
I have disappointing news for you, Mr. Lindo, in that it would not happen before the finals of that competition. I mean, I would love for that to happen. But of course, you know, with the whole tendering process, it usually takes some time. This is something that I've started working on as late last year. And we have submitted the proposal, and it is now in the tendering process. So in the next 2 weeks or so, we should have a contractor, should be awarded a contract. And I'm advised that most of the equipment for the lighting of the field will come from China. That too will take some time in terms of importation to get here. And when it gets here, then of course we have to install and we have to set up. So we're looking at some time, but it is my hope that it will be done before the end of the year. I'm working towards the end of the year. So hopefully next year's competition we'll be able to have it played under the lights. Yes. So thank you for your questions. I hope that we are all now in a better place and now understand all that is being done within the Ministry of Carriacou and Petite Martinique, and by extension the constituency of Carriacou and Petite Martinique. Thank you once again. Thank you for listening. And this we pledge to make it to do this every quarter, so every 3 months. The ministry, myself, the permanent secretary, will bring you live updates and information as it relates to the work in the ministry. Thank you for listening.
All that's happening with the new national party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, yeah. There it is. You've had the press conference, the quarterly press conference by the Honorable Kindra Mathurin Stewart. Yes, the Member of Parliament with responsibility for Carriacou and Petite Martinique affairs. The Member of Parliament for Carriacou and Petite Martinique, and also a Minister of Legal Affairs.
Yeah, and she has, I mean...
Mother, wife, sister, daughter... Everything
in one. Mm-hmm. Good friends. I mean, she has, from the time she has gotten into politics, Sheldon, she has not just impressed, but she has gotten better and better in her speeches, in her deliberations.
She's a lawyer.
I mean,
she's supposed to be able to
speak. And details. She sticks on details. Very careful. Mm-hmm. What she says and details, and as she said, she will not come to the people of Carriacou and Petite Martinique and just tell them anything. She will give them the facts, and so to back it up.
Here's what we have roughly about 8 minutes remaining for today's program. As we say, we keep it on time, huh? Yeah. So we have roughly 8 minutes remaining with today's program. And one of the things, though, is that she did speak about several things. She spoke about agriculture and some of the opportunities available for farmers in Carriacou and Petite Martinique. She spoke about youth development, the Imani program, and some of the other programs that are in place. In fact, I think there's a team from the Ministry of Youth that should be in Carriacou right now. Mr. Williams and others should be up there in Carriacou right now. Also, she spoke about sports, and the lighting of one of the playing fields again. Another lighting of a playing field to take place in Carriacou.
Yeah. She also spoke about the SVG situation.
Yeah.
And so.
That's a developing situation, so she will be taking some proposals
to cabinet
in relation to that issue. Yeah.
And so she also gave some details about basically commerce within Carriacou and PD Martinique with the new opening of the port and so on, and what will happen to the the existing ones.
Facility and what that has done for Carriacou. I think you don't have to be a kayak to know what that port has done for the people of Carriacou.
At all.
Yeah, and also she mentioned that the original one in Hillsborough itself, that is due to be demolished, but before they demolish it, they're going to build a smaller one.
Replace.
Yeah, so that people have one, you still have one to access.
Especially the fishermen.
Yeah, and demolish that one. Yeah, get rid of that one. That one.
Oh, yeah,
you understand? You make it time.
It definitely makes time.
You want to see under that? If you only see some pictures underneath that jetty in Hillsborough,
I only look on the side.
You're wondering what you used to be doing on top of that thing,
Only the side I don't know looking at, and I'll be like, wow.
And imagine, with all of that, the last government, the NDC government, stopped the project that was taking place down there in Harveyville.
Yeah.
Not Dumfries, Harveyville.
Harveyville, sorry. Yeah.
They stopped that project down in Harveyville there. Yeah, by the time we went back to launch that project again, you had all kind of tractor rust out and we see blast again, rust out and all kind of thing there.
I cannot understand. I mean, that was a real obstructionist government, I mean.
But Devon, luckily, we can boast, all three of us inside here can boast. We were on the first trip for the opening.
Yeah.
We were on the Osprey for the first trip for the opening of the new port. We were there. We were on the boat. Yeah, we went up. So you could boast on that one, You could pat yourself on the shoulder and all kind of thing.
Good morning to everyone listening to us on the live. No, we have not forgotten you. And so special good morning to all of you. Those of you from Carriacou, and PD Martinique, Carol and the staff at Paddy's. Good morning to all of you. And and Carriacouans has to be proud of the representative she has delivered and will continue to deliver based on our plans and programs.
Let's specify here the representative and the representation.
Yes, that she's.
So the representative, the individual, and the representation, what she's been able to achieve thus far. And you've heard what she's done for 2019 so far, and what some of the plans for the rest of 2019 and beyond are. So, and the media did get an opportunity to ask questions about different aspects and so. So we look forward to the next quarterly briefing from our honorable member.
That should be somewhere around right after Carnival, perhaps.
Yeah.
September.
That'd be a good time too. It's a time when you'll have a lot of folks here. Yeah, Devon, we wanted to give folks that information for the children for the CPEA exam. So we'll just go straight to the
schedule, the examination schedule and the examination tips.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay. All right. So for all those students who are sitting the CPEA on Thursday 16th May and Friday 17th May 2019. Okay. The examination schedule, subject paper, mathematics, starts at 9 a.m. and finishes at 10:15 a.m. right on Thursday. From 10:15 a.m. to 10:45, you have a break. It continues social studies from 11 a.m. on Thursday to 12:15 p.m. Okay, so that's the end of it for Thursday. On Friday, the 17th, subject paper, language arts, starts at 9 a.m., finishes at 10:15 a.m., break from 10:15 to 10:45. Science starts at 11 a.m. and finishes at 12:15 p.m. Okay? Note, no mobile telephones or other electronic device will be allowed at the examination center. Electronic calculators are forbidden. Candidates should bring along 3Bs or 2B pencils to answer multiple choice questions. Okay? And some of the tips, right, that you parents and so should share with your children and so before the exam. And so get to bed early, right, the night before the examination. Remember, your brain and body need sleep to function well. Do not skip breakfast in the morning. all right, of the examination. Fresh fruits and vegetables is the best. Okay, so make sure you have a healthy breakfast, which would include a banana, 2 mangoes, an orange, whatever fruit that you have, fresh fruits in particular, then hey, utilize it, right? Parents need to encourage their children to provide positive feedbacks that will help them to relax before the examination. It's important for parents to remain calm and positive even when their children feel anxious. Okay? Get to school or your sentence early, right in the morning for the examination. Display a positive attitude, right? Manage your anxiety by breathing slowly to calm down. Okay? During the examination, read the instructions carefully. Make sure you are shading answers correctly and that the number you are shading corresponds with the question numbered. Okay? Manage your time wisely. Very important. Manage your time wisely. If you go blank, skip the question and move on. So in other words, something is giving you a problem, a question, just move on, right? And come back to it after you finish. And so do not get worried or frustrated if a problem seems tricky. Reread the questions to make sure you understand it. Do not panic. Review your answers thoroughly. Right? So these are some tidbits that parents, you can just, rehash with the children and so to make them feel much more confident, right, as to when they're about to go to do the exam tomorrow, right?
Yes, so. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for Hard Talk today. Yeah, it's been wonderful being here. Remember, the rebroadcast will be taking place at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. tonight via CRFM 89.5. The video and audio of today's program will be available a few minutes from now on Facebook. As we end the live, it will be available on Facebook and on YouTube. So in case you want to go back and listen to some of what the minister has said, we know you have a fella in Carriacou right now. He want to go and attack everything that the minister said. Without sense or reason, he want to just attack.
Oh, he started
so
already?
we're telling him where it is. So it's online. You can go and get it there. At 10 p.m. tonight, it'll be available again via 94.9 We Noise Radio out there in Brooklyn. And then 3 a.m. on CRFM 89.5 again. You're wondering who does be up 3 a.m.?
Lots of people.
A lot of people does be up and around 3 a.m. Who does get up to exercise, who does get up to start cooking and ironing and different things like that. So a lot of people does be up at 3
security
a.m.
guards who work in during the day, nurses, doctors, they have an opportunity to listen 3 a.m.
So a lot of people will be listening at that time. So 3 a.m. All right, folks, as we said, that's all the time we have for Hard Talk today. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll have a guest in studio with us, God's willing. So that's one to look forward to. I'm not going to say who it is until when they reach inside the studio. All right, so we're not going to say who it is.
Don't miss it.
We'll have a guest in studio with us tomorrow. So those of you that like to record, make sure you get anything ready to record. Those of you that want to call in and so, get close to your phone and sing. Make sure your phone have credit. Tomorrow, Hard Talk will be on, God's willing. So as we said, that's all the time we have for today. Whatever you say and do it safe and secure. We want to be speaking to and with you.
Not about you.
We are out of here. Peace. Do enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah.
Government now has keys to safe house for young girls in need of special care. Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for Tuesday, May 14th, I am Leslie Ann Johnson. The Grenada government now holds the key and deed to a building in the parish of St. George that will be used as a safe house for abused girls. It is expected to be opened by September. Assistance for acquiring the property came by way of a collaborative initiative with UN Women and the Child Protection Authority.
UN Women, Government and the Child Protection Authority has finalized the purchase of to provide a safety space for girls who are in need of special care and protection plan. For the way forward to recruitment of staff training and the setup of the facility, it is expected to be open in September. So I recalled in the budget we spoke of a safe house for girls, and government will be purchasing a building. I gave all that information. I am pleased to report that that is finalized. We have the keys and the title deed, and we are now preparing to hire staff and fit the building for purpose, because we are going to be hosting our girls with issues. And we, as I said before, at the budget debate, the staff would not just be staff, people looking for a job, but it will be trained people who understand the needs of those young girls at the special, who need special care.
That's Social Development Minister, the Honorable Delma Thomas. During the weekly post-cabinet briefing, she said a proper evaluation will be done on all those desirous of seeking employment at the Safe House, following which successful applicants will receive the required training to attain the skill sets needed.
Not only persons who have a particular degree before. I said sometimes people study different field and not because they are passionate about it. So we're looking for people with passion, not for people who will be abusing the girls also. So we will continue to work as a government to ensure that we provide care and protection for children.
The location of the Safe House will not be made public as a means of ensuring the safety of the girls.
We finalized the building we purchased is in St. George's. However, girls' security, member of the media, the security of our girls is important. Just like we would not tell you where we want to house women who are abused, we would not want to say to you where we are housing the girls who are abused. But we have a facility that we have just purchased. We received the key, we have the deed, and we are working assiduously to ensure that we hire staff. And very soon, we will do a media launch to say that we have launched. We're not going to bring you to the site to say that this is where the girls are. Because sometimes you have families and people, troubled people who will go to hunt them down, and we do not want that. We have to protect our children at all costs.
And what will be the function of that home?
What will be the function? The function will be for care and protection.
Government will on Wednesday provide an update on the CASIP project, which is being implemented here, as well as St. Lucia and St. Vincent. The Caribbean Communications Infrastructure Program is designed to bridge the digital divide. Part of the project involves the installation of marine fiber cable from Conference St. Andrew to Hillsborough, Carriacou. Minister for Carriacou and Petite Martinique Affairs, the Honorable Kindra Maturin Stewart, touched on the subject during her first quarterly press briefing in Carriacou on Tuesday.
Grenada is ready to begin the process of laying out undersea cable system, which will be laid from Conference Bay, Grenada, into Carriacou and up to the islands into St. Vincent during this said week. The current technology used for internet access in Carriacou and Petite Martinique as a result will be upgraded to high-speed broadband network, which will provide affordable connectivity to our islands. The fiber cable will increase access, and this will bring equity of access to broadband for the people of Carriacou and Petite Martinique and the Grenadine Islands.
This is the National Report. More news after the break.
The safety on our roads make this a major priority. Health of our people, a crucial necessity. Accidents happen when road users are either irresponsible or inconsiderate in one way or the other. Play your part. Reduce your speed. Be attentive. It is your personal responsibility. Let 2017 be the start of no more road fatality. Be safe, be seen, be smart. So let's wise up as a nation. Get to your destination safe.
Continuing the news, Grenada has signed on to the Beijing Plus 25 report to build awareness on gender equality and the empowerment of women and girls. That announcement by Social Development Minister, the Honorable Delma Thomas, during Tuesday's weekly post-cabinet briefing. In 2020, the Beijing Plus 25 report will mark the 25th anniversary of the 4th World Conference on Women and adoption of the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action. Minister Delma Thomas says Grenada has just completed a national review on the implementation of the Declaration and Platform for Action, which highlights the achievements of government with regard to gender equality and empowerment.
The implementation of legislation, policies, and mechanisms to address violence against women and girls. We have formed the special victim units and other mechanisms to improve support to victims, hold offenders accountable, and prevent violence against women and girls. Work will continue as this is a priority area for this government. Action are increasing to create gender balance in a wider range of jobs and training opportunities, especially for women in non-traditional fields of studies and employment. So we are looking as a government to provide scholarships and training in non-traditional fields of work. We have seen many of our people for the International Women's Day. We identify and highlighted many women who are involved in non-traditional field. But we believe that more women can be involved in non-traditional field. More women can work in other areas. And therefore, as a government, as a ministry, we are committed.
2020 is an important year for promoting gender equality and the empowerment of all women and girls globally. Minister Thomas says in addition to the achievements, there are priority areas that will be worked on by the government.
Access to affordable quality health care, including sexual and reproductive health and rights, gender-responsive disaster reduction and resilience building, including climate resilience, gender-responsive social protection.
Prime Minister Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mitchell received a courtesy call on Tuesday from Ambassador Holger Michael of the Federal Republic of Germany. In bidding farewell to the Prime Minister, Ambassador Michael noted that Grenada and Germany have enjoyed years of good cooperation, particularly in the economic field through GIZ. Thanking the ambassador for his 2 years of service, Dr. Mitchell also spoke of the good relationship between the two countries. He said, and I quote, "Germany is an important player on the world stage and has showed itself to be a friend of the region. Grenada and Germany have a great history of working together." Unquote. The Prime Minister went on to identify specific areas for which the country is particularly grateful for German cooperation. He said, "We value the German involvement in the Green Climate Fund through the support given and the opportunities created for building resilience in general." Both Prime Minister Mitchell and Ambassador Michael expressed confidence that the level of cooperation between Grenada and Germany will continue. And that's the National Report. I'm Leslie Ann Johnson.
Stay up to date with all that's happening with the new National Party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated.